The hate on James Gunn's Superman is nonsense. Is it? There's some stuff that's kind of weird. I mean, let's see what they say.
It is perfectly reasonable to express your grievances or critiques about any form of entertainment. You shouldn't need a PhD level knowledge of filmmaking to point out the inherent problems with a story or adequately explain why a bad movie or show doesn't work. It's also perfectly within reason to not be excited for something or look at what's been presented via promotional material and think, I don't think this is for me. Or
okay, so far we're thinking level-headed. Okay, those are all very level-headed comments. Let's see if we continue to be that way or if we end up going one side.
This isn't really what I'm looking for. That doesn't seem to be the case in regards to the most prominent hate for this upcoming Superman movie, because for some reason these people come up with the most mind-boggling complaints in an attempt to try and bring this movie down.
Let's hear those mind-boggling complaints.
I don't understand the internet's obsession with wanting something to be bad or bashing a movie or show before it's even fully released. If you want to lay out your problems for a formal review of
Man, it was that way with Man of Steel. It was that way with Superman Returns. It was that way with Superman 2025. They do. They bash it before it ever gets here. And it's like, what's to bash? I mean, I told y'all before the movie came out, I was optimistically hopeful. Optimistically cautious. That's what I said. I was optimistically cautious. I was like, what I'm seeing in the trailers isn't making me think trash. The movie's not here yet. I think it'll be good. I don't know that it'll be good. And it ended up being something that I liked, but didn't think it was the greatest thing in the world, but also didn't think that it was, mediocre. It was a good movie.
A movie after it comes out, by all means, go ahead and cook up something good. But there's a clear difference between complaining about something after you have the full context.
Okay, I'm going to hit on that point right there. The complaints before the movie came out were the same complaints after the movie came out. That's a really interesting thought. They should have changed, or you should see the movie and be enlightened in one way or the other, that it sucks or that it's good. You shouldn't have the exact same complaints that you were going to have going in. That just says that you trained yourself to not want to like it.
After the finished product is set in stone. Don't get it twisted. It's not a vast majority of people who have some hate boner for James Gunn's Superman or anything. If you actually interacted with regular people and got out of the comic book social media space for a second, you'll know that most general audiences seem to respond well to the two trailers that have been released thus far.
Yes, and I have said many times, us super nerds on here, we're the ones that are getting all excited and crazy. We're the ones that are saying either really good things or really bad things. The rest of the public is just seeing a commercial that makes them say, I might go see that. Then they see a movie and they go, oh, that was good, or oh, that was bad. That's all that's happening with them. Most people don't care. That's how I am with generally any movie that I see that's not Superman. I don't really care. I don't really have any kind of investment into it. I don't have any need for it to be good or need for it to be bad. When I saw Thor or Iron Man or the Guardians of the Galaxy, none of those movies that I go, man, this better be good, or man, this looks like it's gonna suck. I just went or saw it at home or whatever because, somebody put it on, somebody took me to the movies or so whatever. It was like, it wasn't something that I had an investment into. And these people that are screaming hate or screaming perfect movie, they don't realize that's not the way the rest of the world was thinking about this at all. They weren't prepared the way you were prepared in the Superman format.
Even in the social media space, most of the reception to the movie's promotional material has been positive. And if the movie is complete booty cheeks, then people should have every right to call out its flaws, rather than defend it out of bias simply because they want the DCU to succeed.
Am I too old? What is complete booty cheeks?
But the way some of these people are bitching and moaning about Superman makes you think they already saw the movie. See, I could have sworn a common complaint about Henry Cavill's depiction of Superman was that he was too stoic and didn't have enough of an emotional reaction to certain events.
Yeah, it was. It was really interesting to me when this movie started coming out and people were saying Superman is stoic and needs to be, and I'm like, what kind of alternate universe am I in? Just 10 years ago, or however long it was, 13 years ago, I was like, people were having the exact opposite complaints. They were like, Superman's not supposed to be stoic. Superman. I'm like, what is happening?
According to some people. I thought y'all were saying he didn't smile.
Well, he definitely doesn't get worshipped and laser eye people in half like that.
Enough, or didn't convey enough of a grand sense of optimism and compassion for humanity. The trailers for the new Superman movie show a Superman that does showcase more of a personality and his desire in wanting to help humanity despite any political ramifications that might be a result of his actions. But now Superman is too emotional. Now he's acting like an immature man baby.
I will say, we went from not emotional enough to too emotional, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't make the movie unwatchable to me. It's just one of my complaints that I have about the movie. He's a little too emotional. When I saw the trailers, I was optimistically cautious that wasn't going to be him for the whole movie, and it wasn't, but the scene still just, he does, to me, just get a little high-pitched, maybe, or something. I don't know. It doesn't ruin the movie for me. It doesn't even ruin the scenes for me. It just makes me a little bit of a cringe feeling is all it does.
Or is more akin to that of Homelander?
You sound like a bitch.
Like a
You mean to tell me you don't think it's reasonable to be frustrated by the fact that you have the capability to save lives, but you catch flack because you didn't get permission?
Really wasn't that scene that bothered me. It was the speech with Lex toward the end. A lot of y'all loved it, and y'all have told me. To me, it didn't do much for me. And it just sounded a little whiny. I didn't care for it.
From the president? In an ideal world, you shouldn't have to worry about the permission of others if you know lives are in danger or how that would affect your public image. When people are in need, you take action because that's what heroes do. Have y'all never watched a comic book movie before? While this isn't an origin story, this is still an unseasoned Superman. This takes place during his earlier years as a hero. Superman came about with the sole purpose of guiding and protecting humanity. Of course he's going to be heated if they're trying to essentially gatekeep him to the US. You don't know the entire context of the scene between.
Gunn says the chemistry between Korner and Lois Lane actor Rachel Brosnahan was palpable from day one. We shot the 12-minute interview scene. Okay.
Between Lois and Clark in the official trailer. Apparently they shot a 12-minute scene of Lois interview.
Oh, okay. I started reading before we started talking about it. Okay.
Clark. From what we know, based on the snippets and the cut-up version of that scene we only saw bits and pieces of, Clark rightfully assumed that the love of his life,
it's a good scene though. It was a little long for me, but it was a good scene
would
though.
go easy on him and be on his side, as he willfully suggested the idea of Lois interviewing him as Superman. But someone like Lois doesn't play like that. She's willing to ask the tough questions when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this in another video. I liked the reporter style that she had. I really think she did a good job of being an unbiased reporter. As a former reporter, I can tell you it's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult.
Even funnier about people criticizing David Cornsweet's Superman for being frustrated over accusations of representing a nation just for saving people in a form.
Yeah, that to me that makes sense. And it's the first time it's happening. It's the first time he's getting this kind of, he'll get, accustomed to it and used to it, like a YouTuber. And comments. Of course, comments have never really bothered me, but this isn't my first channel, so that may be partly why.
Conflict is that Superman and Lois tackled a very similar issue. Superman wasn't okay with the government getting on his ass for saving a North Korean submarine from sinking. The director of the Department of Defense wanted Superman to join his team to only protect the United States. When Superman refused his offer, the director went ahead and made his own team called the Supermen of America to aid the United States Army, and Superman wasn't pleased.
Yeah, they used his symbol. Like, that's kind of messed up.
Trying to save lives.
Sure. You rescued a North Korean submarine, a nuclear one. Couldn't you have just dropped it by American soil? We seem to keep having these issues communicating. But if I can't get your firm commitment that American interests come first,
I will continue to do everything I can to help the DOD.
That's not a commitment. They're from our...
I never liked how much stubble they gave him. Like, check him out. Look at that. Look at all that stubble. I did not like that. It's too much stubble.
School.
Your school. They're not ready for what's out there in the world.
It's not your call.
What you asked for was my allegiance to America.
America needs to come first.
Because I gave it to the world a long time ago. That crest you put on their suit, it's not yours to give.
That's the most recognizable symbol on the planet. I want everyone to know that we are the good guys. America can have more than one Superman.
And the Superman in that show is a seasoned veteran. He's the father of 2 teenage twin boys. So is it still problematic that this Superman had a negative reaction to how the US government...
That was an awesome scene, guys. God, that was an awesome scene.
...responded to his willingness to help others despite their native origin?
I didn't think so.
From what we saw in the trailer, it seems like what Superman got involved in is so much bigger than something akin to just stopping a single nuclear submarine.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
I mean,
I'm reading Superman Space Age right now, and I'm reading it very slowly. But one of the funny things was that Lois was interviewing him, and he's like, what did he say? Like, I saved people or I saved a rocket. He just kept repeating it over and over. It was hilarious. It reminded me of this scene.
it's got to be pretty significant to attract the attention of the Secretary of Defense and shift the public opinion on Superman in the universe.
I think he said I saved the planet.
Not to mention, you see other heroes like Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner on the site as well. These people act as if under no circumstances Superman should be allowed to convey any level of frustration when it comes to the government.
Give me one good reason not to go down there and take them out.
We don't have hard evidence that they've committed any crimes.
We should put more energy into proving it and less into acting like a bunch of hyperthyroid stormtroopers. Batman said I was supposed to keep you guys honest.
Do I look like Batman to you?
But we have to keep a cool head.
They came after us.
I watched very little of this cartoon, guys.
We have to hit them back hard.
Lex Luthor in Justice League Unlimited during his run for presidency built a functional urban area for low-income Americans named Lexor City. Superman falsely accused Lex of planting a bomb underground during an outdoor charity event. Lex claimed it was just an experimental fusion engine that would supply free energy to the people residing in that area. Captain Marvel tried to calm down Superman, but things quickly escalated to the point where they had a fight that destroyed the entire block. Granted, it was a setup
Is his point that Superman gets frustrated? Is that what his...
by Luthor for Superman to destroy the engine, but Superman crashing out against Captain Marvel was just the icing on the cake.
All right.
The plan worked better than I'd hoped, demolishing Lexor City while those media
That is one of the best Lex Luthors ever.
morons filmed every horrific moment. Everything's going according to plan.
On the surface, it might reflect poorly on Superman because he was on Captain Marvel's case since the beginning of the episode.
When you joined this team, you became something more than just
What is out of context? That's so funny. It's like he's throwing down the Justice League document. There it is. You joined the team. There's your signature right there.
a hero, a symbol that represents all of us, and we don't get involved in politics.
I never said that I was endorsing Luthor, just that I think it's great that someone like him can change into a good guy.
You are not to make any more public statements without running them past the League first. You were a little
Oh, man, I don't like that.
hard on the Boy Scouts, don't you think? Why is everyone defending him? We like him. He's sunny.
He's sunny. That's what Superman's supposed to be, but he's being a little bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a jerk to Captain Marvel there, or Shazam, whatever we're calling him these days.
You know, media illiteracy levels are off the charts when the takeaway some people have from the Lois and Clark interview is that Clark is insecure or immature about his actions. Don't you guys just hate it when men get all up in their feelings and insecure because they prevented the deaths of however many people, but instead of being praised, they get backlash due to international politics and are mistaken for representing a nation instead of just themselves? Like,
Longest sarcastic statement ever.
get over yourself, dude. It's not that big a deal.
People were going to die.
You can clearly tell when people actively look for something that's wrong when it isn't there just to partake in the minority.
Now, I will say, guys, this movie's not perfect. I liked it a lot, but it's got a lot of flaws. And one of the flaws is that he gets a little emotional. That scene wasn't one I had problems with, though. It was the last scene in the movie. That's the emotion scene that I had problems with, where I just felt like it was a little, I didn't feel like it added much. I felt like it was a little unneeded. And I know I'm in the minority there. You guys loved it. You guys have told me that you love it. You guys have reiterated that. So I get it. I don't judge you for loving it. I just personally didn't get out of it what was intended.
Stigma. Get a load of this clown. This is literally not how a Green Lantern works. Constructs doesn't just appear from thin air. I don't even have to say pick up a comic book to know how delusional of a statement
That was kind of a cringe moment too when he did that in that movie.
that is. Which adaptation of Green Lantern in any form of entertainment has ever established that constructs created by the Ring must remain tethered to it in
What game is that, guys? I don't know what game that is.
some way? Like, that's a serious question. The complexity and intricacy of the constructs themselves can vary from lantern to lantern. Jon Stewart's constructs, for example, are more detailed because they're built from the inside out,
Was that Injustice 2?
due to him being an architect. Kyle Rayner was an artist before he joined the Green Lantern Corps, so his constructs are more emblematic of that. You'll see all types of established lanterns use their constructs in a multitude of ways, clearly showing that it doesn't have to conform to the specific idea a non-comic reader might be fixated on. Over 12 12,000 likes for a straight up lie. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Oh, this one's one of my favorites. This woman would be absolutely dead, by the way, if this wasn't a cartoon of a movie. Like, obliterated. She just got hit by a 6'3" bullet. So now y'all care about realistic physics?
Yeah, it's not realistic. No. Neither is Superman 1978 when he caught Lois Lane, from the falling of the helicopter. He was going up, she was coming down. He would have cut her in 3 pieces. You know what I mean? I think they talked about that on the Big Bang Theory. That was something before I ever saw that show, I was like, yeah, that's not realistic. It wouldn't happen. But it's a comic book movie. You can't be too caught up in that stuff,
Superhero movies? Because that's totally a reasonable thing to complain about when the titular character is the epitome of defying physics. I don't ever remember flying into space, breaking this.
One of y'all commented on my comments the other day about how Superman's super breath makes no sense, like it shouldn't be one of his powers, and somebody was like, and heat vision makes sense to you?
Sound barrier and having heat.
Not making fun of y'all, just I think it's humorous.
Heat vision being an element of realism. This line of thinking could be applied to any speedster that relocates civilians from danger. At this point, y'all are just running out of things to complain about. I hope to continue my mission of defending Superman as a character from moronic and bad faith criticism. It's gotten to a point where people are just purposefully misreading elements, cherry picking, and hating on a movie before it even comes out.
Well, they do that for, too. They don't just do it against. They also do it in favor of.
Classic internet, am I right? If the movie is bad, then it's bad. But that will never automatically validate the nonsense people were spewing to dunk on the movie out of spite and not actual genuine concern. You can hyperfixate on the negatives of a movie because it's filmed.
I was a little disappointed in the Clark. The clips they showed us in the trailers made me think I was going to get a different Clark than we got. But, it doesn't make me hate the movie. I thought it was a very good movie. I wanted more Clark. I wanted a little bit different of a Clark, but,
Filled with plot contrivances, plot holes, and
I definitely didn't want Henry Cavill's Clark. I loved Henry Cavill as Superman, but his Clark was just Superman in glasses.
Consistencies, pacing issues, bad dialogue. The usual stuff. That's all good and dandy. But this just comes off as sad, man.
Don't forget to check out this video in the description if you want to check out his channel and subscribe to him. Don't forget to subscribe to me, as well as checking out my live streams that are on Mondays at 9 p.m. where I play some sort of Superman-related video game and connect with you guys, talk to y'all about all kinds of great Superman stuff, let you ask all sorts of questions. And also, don't forget to check out my Amazon store and check out one of these videos. Actually, both would be even better.